Thanks for sending the recording class. Okay,
Now we're on.
all right. I don't like technology anyway. Please, people that are zooming in, please identify yourselves. Michael? No names.
Maybe I'm texting with Megan, she says she's moving in, but I don't see her.
I'm Mike Anderson's here.
Okay.
Megan Butler here.
Sound.
Pretty long.
Yeah, can you make it louder, please, Michael?
We got Megan Butler.
Megan Butler. Michael?
Mike Anderson.
It's there. She needs to be turned out.
That's.
Where would that be? This.
Yeah,
Just
you
put your
did.
names in the chat.
I am not.
We got
We can have someone look at it afterwards.
Well, Michael's over there doing things, so he should be on it, I think. Okay, we're gonna move on anyway. Okay. The ZA has posted appropriately all things that have to be done. Anybody wants to know detail, they're welcome to ask. Call to order, roll call.
Dale Whitaker.
Maria and Hazel.
Tim Peters. Paul Wilhelm.
Sue Ellen Stochek. And everybody signed in at the door, right?
I will on the way outside.
Jerry. Okay. Are we unmuted and ready to roll with those folks?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. Here are the public hearing ground rules. Raise hands, state name, and stand, please, when you have something to say. 3-minute limit. Most of you will be fine with that. Paul will have trouble. Questions should be in writing, submitted to the ZA for the record. We will read the letters into the record. Read your own letters if possible. If not, we will read them for you. We are here to listen and take notes, which we do, of everything that is said, of everybody's opinions for our discussion in a future meeting. We do not speak. We just sit and listen. We will discuss at the September, I think it's 6th meeting at 4:30 here at Town Hall. Okay, I will read a letter that we got from Peter Rogers. My perspective of Madeline is that that of a longtime summer resident whose family has been coming to the island almost every year since before World War I. The island has evolved. First as the home of indigenous people, which in 1830 had a population substantially larger than Chicago's. By 1859, the town was the county seat of LaPointe County, which was larger than the combined areas of the present Ashland and Bayfield counties. The primary economic activities were commercial fishing, farming, and lumbering. As those enterprises diminished, the island became a destination for seasonal residents and tourists, resulting in a roller coaster type of business activity between the summer and winter seasons. The key to accomplish the critical priorities of the comprehensive plan, I believe, is the plan must provide the means for year-round economic activity. With more year-round activity on the island will come the financial resources to accomplish all the plan's objectives. To attract business and other activity, the commercial zoning should be expanded in 2 areas. First, the area around the airport should be delineated as commercial, but kept on the same side of Big Bay Road as the airport. The second area to expand the zoning is on Middle Road, where commercial activity already exists. It should extend on one side of the road from the baseball field to include Brigg and Penny's Nelson's site, and on the other side of the road to include Chuck Nelson's storage units to just beyond Madeline Island School of the Arts. Although there are homes within these proposed commercial areas, it is no different than the mix of homes and businesses along Main Street leading to the yacht club. In addition, I suggest that a person who is experienced in recruiting businesses be hired. This should be a full-time position and be on the same level as the town administrator. It is critical to attract more enterprises to the island, which will allow all other priorities of the plan to follow. Oh, agenda. Wait a minute, we've got more. Madeline is unique in some respects. It is an island much like the castle with a moat, which provides above average security. It is also located on the world's largest freshwater lake, which is vital in the age of global warming and increasingly severe droughts. Furthermore, it is only 90 miles from Duluth with its international airport and harbor, connecting it to the rest of the world by plane, ship, and train. The commercial shipping season is 9 months long and will get longer as the lake warms. We have an airport which already accepts small jets, and a runway extension would open new cargo and passenger traffic. These features seem to lend themselves to recruiting both private businesses and government agencies, federal, state, and county. In the private sector, light manufacturing and service industries would be candidates. So too would agencies such as the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, or a branch of the State Department of Natural Resources. The list of potential business and government agencies is nearly unlimited. Finally, if we want to minimize the number of future workers living on the island, we must extend the MIFL schedule so that Bayfield and Washburn become bedroom communities for us. This will significantly reduce the need for a large investment in affordable housing, infrastructure, and services. That's going to be right. Hey, Paul, you had something to read. You want to read yours?
Sure, sorry, it's so long, but we're covering an 85-page document, got it on the iPhone.
You've got 3 minutes. That's
Don't interrupt me, please don't. The comprehensive plan steering committee has, for the most part, done a fine job. We tabulated the results of the 2020 survey and applied the results. Now it's up to the town planning commission and town board to approve it. Hopefully both bodies won't water it down due to political pressure from special interests, is what usually happens in town government. The plan survey shows a desire to concentrate businesses and high density activities in the village areas commercial core. It clearly states that the vast majority of respondents, as much as 91%, don't want to expand commercial activity outside the existing C1 zone. Plan states that the zoning ordinance says any sizable business activity is supposed to take place in the commercial core C1 zone. Remember that the key word is supposed, not shall or must. Since the largest commercial enterprise on Madeline Island, namely Craftivity, aka Madeline Island School of the Arts, was developed and is still being developed in a W2 low density zone. There are a few contradictions in the plan survey. The plan states that there are no concerted efforts to research, promote, and attract additional businesses. However, doing so may change the island's low impact lifestyle that everyone cherishes, depending upon which type of business is being courted. Remember that the island's natural environment is why a majority of respondents, 51%, oppose commercial activities outside of the commercial zone, which would include the so-called mixed-use zone that was proposed in the past. What are commercial activities? An art school, a lacrosse camp, a de facto event center held at a short-term rental? The comprehensive plan should reflect the community's priorities, not an investors and developers' monetary gain. While some may want to expand the existing C1 zone to increase development, this sentiment is not reflected in either the plan or survey. Just because no vacant parcels are currently for sale in the C1 zone doesn't mean they won't be for sale in the future. This is no reason to expand the C1 zone or even think of creating a mixed-use zone, which many equate as the same as a C1, which really it isn't. The new plan should state that the zoning conflicts, such as expanding the C1 zone or creating a mixed-use zone, should be avoided, just as was stated in previous plans. The new comp plan also calls for preserving the island's overall low density standards, even when factoring in the need for more affordable housing. It hopes to accomplish this by utilizing zoning and related ordinances to preserve and protect the natural character of Madeline Island. It goes on to say that low density can minimize the intensity of land use, reduce the impact of development, and help preserve natural surroundings or appearance. I agree with that sentence. However, under recommendation that state that we should preserve low density requirements in the W2 district that are not connected or cannot easily be connected to a sanitary sewer. While I understand that a comp plan is supposed to be a broad brush, what is the definition of easily be connected? Just running a lateral to an existing gravity sewer main, or spending $500,000 to run an entirely new gravity sewer main? Easily connected can mean different things to different people depending on who pays for it and or who benefits from it. A few other points to consider. One, while the plan seeks to utilize the zoning ordinance to implement its goals, it also states that if a requirement cannot or will not be enforced, either due to a lack of capacity or a lack of political will, it should not be adopted. CUP should be approached the same way. If true, there will never be a junk ordinance, since no politician will offer a solution because there will never be elected or re-elected to office. Likewise, no ZA will ever enforce it because they will be perceived as the bad guy or as a zoning Nazi. Two, the plan talks about bike trails and bike infrastructure. Please remember that about 25 years ago, a bike trail was proposed to run along the interior of the island. At a town meeting, this idea was dismissed since most people want to see the lake, not more trees. Yeah, and I emphasize, yeah, you're going to spend oodles of money on bike infrastructure, do it along the existing roadway. Three, there is a proposal in the plan to have Main Street between Middle Road and Arena to be one way in the summer. This is a very bad idea and will be a logistical nightmare. Madeline Island isn't Key West or Fisherman's Wharf, at least not yet. Four, the community center was only a priority of 23.5% of the respondents in the survey. If the vocal minority wanted it, let the vocal minority pay for it, such as through user fees. Property taxes, including town property taxes, are high enough. Finally, I see the parks quote generated $215,897, end quote. I ask, is that net or gross income? The plan should specify which one it is. Taxpayers deserve accurate, not creative accounting. Yours very truly, Paul Bremer, a lifelong LaPointe resident.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, now we will open the floor for people that have remarks. Mike, here you are.
Next few minutes. I've got two comments that use them using the executive summary, which people might have a comment on. And I just got the one of them under community collaboration, grant proposal writer. I just want you to know that the county is hiring a grant writer that will be available to the communities within the county. So to pursue that avenue of utilizing that grant writer. If everybody in the county needs it, so that's one. And then the other one I've got is, there's three things in there, affordable housing, business activities, and short-term rentals. And I think that the short-term rentals, there should not be any change in the short-term rental ordinances. The current ordinance that's 9 years old. There's been 0 complaints filed in 9 years against the current ordinance, and the regular ordinance that tells you what kind of buildings you have on the lot and everything, protects all the land and stuff. And so I don't think that rentals should be restricted. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I can't see who's back there. Oh. Get up and identify yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm David Marquardt, and I'm speaking for myself, Alan Gomez and Gail Anderson, who are all property owners. So we kind of agree more with Paul's letter that there shouldn't be so much stress on development and industry. I don't think we need to hire a person to invite more small industry. We like the island that it's more of a old style, less developed island. So whatever we can do to preserve what we have here now is what we'd probably like to see.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Cedar Shinky. When we refer to preserving, maintaining, or protecting the island's natural character, or conserving as well, consider changing that language to increasing the ecological resiliency or improving resilience of the island's ecological and social systems. Take a more active position in our role as stewards of the island. This is also a response to climate change and what will be an ever-changing climate, to ensure that we can withstand the.
Do you have that written?
Yes.
Okay, you can submit it then. Huh. Okay.
Center a plan for climate resiliency and rights of nature, including self-sufficiency with regard to supply chain disruptions that are inevitable. Include language under economic vitality that centers a circular economy, which in plain language orients us towards repair, reuse, reduce, restoration, and regeneration. This can be integrated into other places in the plan, including restoring existing properties rather than constructing new, considering repair and creative reuse and the junk considerations in the plan, as well as other places. Widen consideration for our ecological community as well as our social systems when considering who this plan should benefit. There's a lot of language about the human people, and there's a lot of support for what the other beings on this island and the natural systems contribute and makes it a place that we want to live. With regard to access and egress from the island via ferry, consider Anishinaabe tribal nations who we're increasing affordability and access for. I think the last thing I kind of for going up many more notes is with regard to accessibility of healthcare. One simple thing that we could add is considering adding a private room that's reservable for access to virtual healthcare appointments.
Would you give that to the CA, please? Your letter. Okay, anybody else? Last chance, folks. No more remarks? Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for coming and for your remarks and for following along with everything. And we are adjourned.